Hello, hello, Facebook Live. I'm Debbie Leno, known as the Inner Peace Coach. I'm the founder of the Ageless Woman Movement. I coach women on self-acceptance, positive body image, and I'm here to teach you that health is way more than just diet and exercise. That is my ultimate message, that there's so much more to that piece than just those two things. And here with me today, I'm so excited to have her on with us, Cyd. She is a Feng Shui Master and designer. She's from the UK with a large international practice. She's an associate Feng Shui Master for the Living Proof Institute, co-founder of Hime Wellness, certified Enneagram Teacher in the narrative tradition. Cyd is also a life mentor for people from all walks of life, entrepreneurs, mothers, pet owners, the list goes on. And she's got so much great stuff to share with us today, and I'm so excited to have her on. Her vocation and passion that she's going to share with us today is just gently encouraging joy and positive energy into each person's life and in the physical spaces also that we occupy. There's so much to talk about on this topic. It's so fascinating. It is definitely a study of the flow of energy. Welcome, Cyd. Thank you so much for agreeing to be here with us today.
Well, thank you. I'm just delighted to be here. This is a lot of fun, and we've already had a little conversation, and I'm all warmed up, ready to go. So
awesome.
Let's get to it.
Let's get to it. So for those people in the audience who don't know what Feng Shui is, could you give us a quick explanation?
Yes.
I don't want to say definition, but more of an explanation of what it is.
Yes. We'll have to be very, very quick because this is a very old, ancient science. Goes back some 6,000 years. And Feng Shui actually means wind and water. The wind lifts the energy, the water allows it to flow. But Feng Shui basically is to clear negative energy from spaces. And that clears it for more positive energy, which allows people to move about their home freely, allows the home to really nurture and care for you. So a house is a living thing. A lot of people don't realize that. They just think it's bricks and mortar. It isn't. It's actually a living thing. And the more we can feng shui the home, and my home is feng shuied on a continual basis, is really to open up the home and allow it to flow to protect you and to nurture you.
I really love that. You know, it kind of brings up a question for me. And when people buy new homes, and can the energy of the previous owner be lurking in a home, and what to do about that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm often called in to new homes to clear the negative energy that people do leave behind. We all leave negative energy behind. We can't all be positive all the time. And it's the same with a new home, strangely enough, because the person that's building, the plumber, the electrician, the mason, all of those people, they're bringing their energy into the space also. So it is important to have your home feng shui blessed, or you bless it by all means. But, you know, there are some things there that I would recommend and not recommend. But however, you know, absolutely, it's an important part of claiming that space for your own.
Oh, yes. Yes. That's something that the average person might not think about.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's interesting that you say that it's something that you do on a continuous basis. So I would say that apart from just cleaning and organizing, which would be everybody's normal thing that they do, when you have people in your home, I believe they probably leave behind a certain amount of energy.
Yes. You know, if you have visitors to your home, if you have work people in your home, you know, in the same way that with the pandemic, we're cleaning up after people as they come and go. It's the same thing with feng shui, but energy is something that you can't, well, you can't with the pandemic, but you can't see and touch it, but you can feel it. So somebody leaves the house and you go, oh dear, I'm so miserable now. That means negative energy has been left behind. It really, your home should be a place of joy.
Sanctuary.
It should be that space that you can go home, shut the door, kick off the shoes. Even before you reach for a glass of wine, you can say to yourself, I'm home, I can heal from now on.
I love that. That's so gentle. I have so many questions for you. let's begin by some practical things that people could be doing or to be taking away from this discussion on Feng Shui. And if somebody were wanting to improve their relationships, or they want to be in a relationship, and that's what they really want for themselves, they want to be in a really healthy, thriving relationship, are there some things that they could be doing differently within their homes that would encourage that to be so?
Yes, these are a couple of little things that you can do even after this conversation. So, your relationship area is the top right hand corner of your ground floor in relation to the front door. Some houses do not have a relationship area, and therefore that's what we can put cures in place. But supposing that you do have a relationship area that needs to be cleared, make sure that it's really cleared of all clutter. Old books, old magazines, old candles, all of those things. If you want a fresh start, you need to start with a fresh service. It's like a blank canvas, okay? No photographs of children in your relationship area. So that's very, very important. Also, it's important to maybe have two of something. So if you want to put a picture or some piece of artwork, make sure it's two of something. Two birds, two puppies, two kittens, whatever.
Coupling. It's a coupling
Yeah,
thing.
something that makes you feel happy. Make sure that there isn't a photograph or a picture of a lonely beach chair or two lonely beach chairs. You need to have energy in those beach chairs. You know, there's a whole series of artwork that I kept finding in people's houses, and it was beautiful. It was two wooden chairs sitting on a beach looking out, but there's nobody there. So, you know, so that means there's nobody in a relationship. 5 red roses in a vase in that corner.
Ooh.
2 red candles that you can light each evening when you get home in your relationship area. And the relationship area isn't necessarily in the master bedroom. Sometimes it's in a dining room. Sometimes it's in the kitchen. But just look, see where your relationship area is.
Okay, let's go back and define the relationship area again. Is it just a corner that's devoted to that energy?
Yes, the Bagua map is actually divided. It's actually a map. We start with the ground floor, the main floor, because most of the household live and breathe on that floor, okay? The bedrooms and the lower areas are separate Bagua maps altogether. So the top, it's divided into 9 sections. So your front door is your mouth of chi. This is where all energy enters your home. Whether you come in through the garage or not, all energy comes through the mouth of chi. So that's why it's very important to start with a very tidy, clean front door. Some nice bright flowers to encourage the energy in. So if you have a front door covered in cobwebs, your energy is not going to be very positive.
Got it. And for those of you who don't know the term chi, chi is energy. Chi means energy.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes. Good point. Thank you. So you're standing with your back to the front door. So the top right-hand corner is your relationship area.
Wow. I'm just visualizing where that place is in my home. Yeah.
Which is what?
Well, when you walk in, to the right is the TV.
That's okay, because actually the TV represents electricity. Electricity represents fire, and the element is fire. So you want that energy. So that's good.
Cool.
Okay.
I'll just position it just slightly different.
Yes. So the color for a relationship is red and or pink. So
Makes
again,
sense.
you know, you can choose whatever you want to do, but whatever you do, never put red and white together. Never, 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 never put red and white together.
Oh, that's
because
interesting.
that heralds an ending, and usually an ending that you don't particularly want.
That's very interesting. I did not know that.
Okay, now don't forget that red starts at a beige. I'm also a designer. So if you look at the color wheel for red, it starts at beige and goes all the way up to a deep, deep cabinet color. So you've got that choice. You don't have to have a brick red wall or a brick red bed cover or a brick red tablecloth. You can have any of those colors in that red wheel.
Gotcha. So many
Okay?
variations.
Yep. Yeah. So it's a lot more giving than you think it is.
So let's go back. You had said that it wouldn't be a good idea to put photos of children in the relationship area. Is there another place that can be devoted to family?
Yes, there is actually a family area. So a family area is way over to the left-hand side, and it's between wisdom and wealth. So you've got a rectangular shape, which is the shape of the bagua. Years and years and years ago, I redesigned the bagua map to be those blocks, which is now being taken up, which is wonderful. But the true feng shui shape is rectangular, it's not square. But that's fine. But you, again, if you look at your mouth of qi, your front door where all the energy is entering, your wealth is the top left-hand corner. Immediately beneath that is family. Now, the family area, the color for family is green, and that's a wonderful place to put photographs of your family. It's also a wonderful place to have your plants, and also a wonderful place to represent the tree of life.
I love that. I love the bringing in the color with the energy, and green for children and family. That's pretty cool. I would say green probably also for financial abundance. Would that be
No,
true? No?
no,
Okay.
no.
Let's go to financial abundance.
There's another little trick there, and is actually, or strangely enough, although the element for wealth is wood, by all means, put something wooden in that area, but don't put any living plants in that area, because that drains your wealth out. Because all plants and all of us, we take energy from the soil. So therefore, we're sucking up all the good energy. Therefore, your plants are sucking up all your wealth and draining your healthy wealth soil of all your wealth.
So, what would your tips be to invite? I'm kind of getting an idea because I don't know the patterns of Feng Shui and how you have them separated into quadrants, or not quadrants, but into 9 areas. Is it 9? Okay, so I'm trying to visualize. So the area that is focusing on inviting in more financial abundance, um, how would you set that up? What would you do and not do?
Okay, well, some of the things, definitely do not put any plants in your wealth area. I've actually had experience of that, and I couldn't understand what was going on. But a friend had brought all her plants over and asked if she could store them in my dining room. And I said yes, and then things started to be very strange. And when I started to look around, I thought, oh my gosh, she's put all these plants in my wealth area. So I pulled them away from that corner and put them in the center of the house.
That is so
And
funny.
everything started to change very quickly. But also, a flow of water is a very good thing. So it could be a piece of artwork. Now, you want a piece of artwork of maybe a very tumultuous lake or a seascape, something, or a waterfall, something that's moving, something with a lot of energy. You don't want a nice lake view. You don't want a nice sweet pond. You want something with a lot of energy to it. And the colors for wealth are blue, red, or purple.
I should be
So,
writing these things down.
well,
But
we'll sort these out for you. Don't worry about that, Debbie. So, but those are things. And if your house is basically one color throughout, which is becoming more and more popular, and my house is one color throughout, but you can take these little color samples and pop them into the various areas of the Bagua map. So, for example, you could have, maybe a glass vase, a blue glass vase in your wealth area. You could have some artwork of a seascape. You could have a blue tablecloth if it's your dining room. You can do all kinds of things, but also make sure that there's nothing on the floor that can stop the flow of energy. So when people have piles of books or magazines or they're knitting or whatever, the more stuff you have on the floor, the more you're going to reduce the flow of energy, and then the negative energy will start to flow and start to die. So that's what negative
Interesting.
energy is. Negative energy is dead energy.
Mm-hmm. Wow, we have some Facebook viewers on, so I just want to say hello to them while we're here. And I unfortunately I can't see who is dropping in the comment, but the comments so far are my dear friend Cyd Alper is it Sedgwick? So that's one. And good to know is another comment. I love the wisdom Cyd shares and love the places I'm hearing are where love. I'm sorry. Also love the places I'm hearing are where they should be in my home.
Wonderful. That's wonderful. Yes. When I work with an architect on designing a house that's being built, I try as much as possible, and most architects are very open to this. Like everybody, if they are really comfortable in their profession, they're very open to suggestions. So we try to bring in these principles of Feng Shui from the very, very beginning. So you don't have to fix anything. You can just work from the very, very beginning and make sure that everything's in its right place.
And so that would probably, if you're an architect and you're working with somebody like you when you're designing a home, then you would probably be placing windows in key areas and doorways in key areas.
Yes, absolutely. The ideal place is your front door is right in the center of your home, right in the center. So that makes it much, much easier. But strangely enough, the last three houses that I have lived in have had no relationship area, no relationship children or helpful people. So, but that's fine because, I just had to work extra hard to create those areas with whatever I could do. Like we planted roses down in the relationship area of the last house that I lived in. So, you can do things. They're called cures, Cures. I always spell that because of my accent. People go, what's she saying? So, but they're called cures, but really everything can be cured. So there's nothing negative in Feng Shui. So I've had situations where I had somebody call me from California saying that they had bought a house and a Feng Shui person out there had said, oh, you have to knock the house down. It's absolutely impossible. So they flew me out there and we didn't have to do that at all. There's things that can be done and they don't have to be done at huge expense.
Can you think of somebody that you helped that had a significant transformation by incorporating the principles of Feng Shui into their home? Is there anything that can you share any testimony like that where
Well,
I'm putting you on the spot, I don't mean to, but
no.
it's
I mean,
nice to know.
There are hundreds and hundreds of people where I've seen them go from struggling with their businesses to having too much business. Because we don't only Feng Shui homes, I also Feng Shui businesses, churches, hospitals, schools, anything, any kind of building, because the idea is to heal the building and therefore heal the people in the building. So if people are working in a building that's very, very negative, they're not going to be very productive.
Oh, this is ideal for somebody who's in the corporate world to be listening.
Absolutely,
The things that
yes.
they could do to improve the flow of energy in their workspace.
Absolutely,
Oh my
yes.
goodness.
And a
Yeah.
lot of corporations in Cincinnati are very open to Feng Shui. You'll be amazed how many offices I have Feng Shuied. I think the most, and this wasn't Feng Shui, but this was a very interesting example. I had somebody who called me and said that her daughter had tried for years and years and years to conceive a baby. And they were giving up because financially they were just at the end. And she said, as a gift to them, could I ask you to go and Feng Shui their house? And I said, Well, I don't work miracles, but I would love to go and see what I can do to at least create and lift the energy a bit for them. Well, anyway, we started working together, and basically what I found were a number of areas that were blocked. Now, the health area of the house is right in the center. And if that is blocked in any way, that's going to create some kind of unease, disease in the body. Just in the same way that,
Interesting.
we've had conversations about, eating the right foods to help clear the body of any disease or unease. So we started working in the lower area, in the basement area. We cleared all that up. They jumped straight in, this couple. They were wonderful. Well, they now have 3 children.
Oh my goodness.
And as I pointed out, I didn't work any miracles. All I did was clear the negative energy.
Gave them some reproductive energy.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's one of the joys of what I do, is seeing how people can get on with their lives.
Yes.
If only they would reach out and say, what can I do? But I need to have a little bit of help.
So if a person lived in a home that was extremely cluttered, like the sort of person who just does not like to let go of old memories, or what would you say to that? I mean, there's so many different things that I think of right off the bat, but I'm really interested in your perspective on how a person's life could really improve and feel much better if they were able to sort through their clutter.
I always think of clutter as being, do you know how you feel when you haven't had a shower for 3 days? And you stand in the shower and you really wash all that grime and blech off your body. That's what clearing clutter really is. It's clearing off the heaviness. It's clearing off clogging up the skin and the arteries, etc., etc. So yes, it is very, very hard to give up things. It's a lot easier for me because, I actually sold the entire contents of my house in 2011. Everything sold except my bed and my television. And I sat on the floor for 6 months before I bought any new furniture. But the reason for that was that I felt really overwhelmed with stuff. Even though I didn't have a lot of stuff, I was just overwhelmed. It was stuff I wanted to keep pushing away because it was dragging me down. It was making me feel sad. And that's really how to look at something. By all means, I think my sister has a wonderful idea. She actually puts things away in boxes, and every now and then she takes them out and gives them a fresh lease of life, and she'll display her special things that she likes to keep. Then she'll put them away and get some other ones out.
I like that idea.
So as long as things are packed away, you don't have to have them all out at the same time.
I actually really like that idea. And that might be a really good suggestion for somebody who just has a difficult time parting with things from their history.
Yes. Just put them away, pack them carefully into boxes, nice boxes, label them, and then just know that, come the turn of the seasons, it's time to get these things out. It's a little bit like doing Christmas or Thanksgiving, but again, even at Christmas, I don't decorate my home, apart from maybe I might put something very simple out, like a little tiny Christmas tree. That's it. That's all I want to be dealing with. So I acknowledge it, and I acknowledge the time and the energy around the holiday, but then it's not interfering with my life, and is not a big chore at the end of the holiday either.
I think that would probably be difficult for some people to do that, and that's probably a more personal choice when it comes to the ways in which you really want to celebrate your holidays. I think the main thing is just focusing on, in general, not clogging up your living space with so many things that you feel overwhelmed.
Yes. Obviously the obvious ones are magazines and books and hobbies. But, try to, as much as possible.
Magazine hoard.
I used to do that too, but every time you have a stack of magazines, your actually negative energy is breeding in
Ooh,
there.
that'll give me some.
So
That'll
consider
help.
it. Right. So another little tip to keep that down is go through the magazines, tear out the pieces that are really important to you and put them into a folder or, some kind of scrapbook. So then you've always got them.
Yes, I do vision board workshops, and so having magazines is a pastime of mine.
I
But
know.
I
Yeah.
yeah, but I do a lot of cutting out and sorting in boxes so that I can just pull a box that's travel or pull a box that's nature, and I sift through my magazines and cut out those specific things or words or whatever for my workshops. But I still have quite a bit of
Yeah.
magazines
Well, you might
laying
think
around.
about doing a feng shui vision board. I know everybody
Ooh.
goes like, oh, yes.
I never thought of doing that. That's a wonderful idea.
Mm.
And yeah, I would love to know more about how I'm trying to visualize in my mind where all these specific places are in your home. Like your relationship quarter, I got that. It's to the right.
Top right, top
Your
right,
fam, top right, top right. So is that the
top
ceiling?
right. Top, no, it's on the, think of the floor, top
Okay.
right to the front door.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. And the children and the family is to the left.
No, wealth is to the left, top left is wealth.
Oh,
Beneath that is family, and beneath that is wisdom. And wisdom is also, each of the sections of the Bagua map are very powerful. But inside your front door, immediately to the left, is your wisdom area. And
okay.
that's a wonderful place for prayer and meditation.
And it's called a what kind of a map?
A Bagua,
Bagua.
Bagua,
Gotcha. Okay.
Bagua. You
Mm-hmm.
can look up. I don't encourage people to look up feng shui on the internet because there are 8 different schools of feng shui. So choose one feng shui and stay with that. Don't mix them up. So the feng shui I practice is one of those 8, and that's the most powerful and most intuitive of them all.
So I have my next question for you. And you're here in Cincinnati, which, yay, I'm so glad that you are, because we're going
Thank
to
you.
meet up sometime for coffee. But for those that are on this call or are going to be watching this video that live in other places, do you do Feng Shui consultations on Zoom? Can you do
I
appointments with
do.
people from afar?
Absolutely. I have clients all over the world. I've just finished a clinic in Bermuda and never left the house. And it's all done virtually. It's not as good as me being in the space in so much that I like to feel the energy. I like to feel the energy of the client. I like to know the energy of the family members, the dog, the cat, the goldfish. All of those things are
I
very,
could see
very
that.
important, but it does get the job done. And
Hmm.
so virtual feng shui does work really well for overseas or out of the area clients. So again, I have clients all over the place.
Sid, do you have a website?
I do. It's www.harmonicprosperity.com.
Oh, I love that. If you could put that in our chat after we're done with our interview, if you could provide your website, that would be really helpful.
Right. Now, again,
Yeah.
the website is very simple because I think people are, they don't want to be reading a lot of stuff on a website. So it's very, very simple, very straight to the point. But I'm always open to answering questions. Somebody wants to call me, somebody wants to text me, somebody wants to message me on Facebook. I'll do anything I can to help people.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're very
That is
welcome.
very, very, very generous of you to provide your services like that and to chat with people who have questions. Thank you for that.
It's my pleasure.
Yes, and I know there's so much more that we could talk about. You were involved in so many different things, and I'm sure that we'll find other topics that we can chat about.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Great. Thank you so much. And
Thank
thank all
you.
of you. I hope that you all get a chance to listen to this. Cyd has got some great things to share. And what would your final words be? What would your final message be, Cyd, for those out there who are wanting to have more, um, they want to have a more abundant life, a happier life, feel like they're ready to go to their next step, that they've cleared and opened up for what's coming. Do you have a message for them?
I think it's that it is possible with intention. Feng Shui is about intention. Absolutely, you can have that life. Absolutely, without a doubt.
Awesome. And I know there's another area that we didn't get a chance to really talk about that you apply with your techniques, and that is the metals, wood. So
The
all of that
elements.
energy. Yeah, the elements is another thing that we touched on just a little bit with water and all that, but there's so much more that we can talk about. I'm looking forward to the future, having more conversations with you.
Well, thank you, Debbie. And thanks to everybody for chiming in. It's wonderful to know that there are people out there that have an interest in Feng Shui and all its wonders.
Yes, and I'm sure I think there's some realtors in our group too that could probably really benefit from knowing
Mm-hmm.
some of these principles and really helping people with their homes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's wonderful.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day, everybody.
Bye bye,
Until
everyone.
next time.
Bye.
Bye bye.